We are starting soon. Welcome back to another episode of the Album Book Club. This week we are checking out Alienation by 3 Days Grace. It is an album that came out in 2024. They brought their original singer back for this one. He left the group in 2013. I don't care the reason why. So, we ready to go?
Sure.
I thought your intro was going to be, this is an album.
That
was where it was going to end.
End of statement, yeah. All right, we'll just hop in with our top three. Oh my gosh, sorry. We'll hop in with our top three here. Don't want to go. I have Don't Want to Go Home Tonight, Kill Me Fast, and Apologies.
I have Mayday, Death Wish, and The Power.
Mayday and Cold Blood, I Don't Want to Go Home.
I had Mayday, Alienation, and Another Relapse.
I feel left out of this party.
Just wait till we get back around on the other one.
Oh, it's fine. I'll start it. My bottom song is Another Relapse.
That's fair.
My bottom song is Alienation.
Mine is Another Relapse.
If his was Mayday, I was about to leave. Mine was Don't Want to Go Home Tonight.
Yeah.
I understand, and I will try to justify my choices.
That's valid. I have a valid reason. I think it's, well, we'll get into it because it starts off quick here. Going to track 1, Dominate. I give this a 5 out of 10.
I give it a 7.5 out of 10.
7.
5.5.
Right off the bat, this is one of the best mixes we've had in recent weeks, months even. And that was just a relief. Until I realized that this is just Imagine Dragons, but heavier. They only have like 16 different lines or so. And these guys are real musicians. I've heard their previous albums, and they're good. What happened?
I almost want to disagree. I think the mix specifically on the vocals of this track were not great. I think they were... It wasn't like bad, but it was weak. Like they weren't standing out in a track where they probably should have been. Everything else I think was fine mix-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I had no notes after this about the mix. But this song is exactly what I expected, kind of. I think I wanted more, but this is, if you told me we were listening to a 3 Days Grace album that came out a couple months ago, this is probably it.
You know, I really can't argue with that. And before I get into all of my reviews, I am biased here. I'm pretty sure I rated this album really high just because I really like 3 Days Grace. And then hearing the original vocalist come back, because I haven't listened to this album before this, I got nostalgia baited super hard while listening to this album, and I'm pretty sure that's what it was for. I really like the chorus. It has some really great energy to it, and like the guitar always sounds great. I've always loved the guitar tone from 3 Days Grace. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this track.
Yeah, I like the choppy, heavy bass. The guy's voice is fine. I could see it potentially being a good hype song for somebody, like in high school or something. Yeah, I like the layering at the end. It's fine. That's kind of my thoughts on it. Yeah, it's fine.
So I also have notes about the structure of the song, but I'm going to save it because I'm very quickly going to run out of things to talk about.
Yeah, good hit on the bass. The bass sounded great this whole album until you realize that he's got one riff, but killer riff, you know. All right, we'll go on to track 2, Apologies. Remember, this made my top 3 with a 6.5.
I gave it a 7.
7.
6.
I think that drumming was the highlight of this song, really. He was killing it on the hi-hat in not a like annoying way. He was actually just doing good technically. It did remind me of the song God Damaged, and I forgot to check and see which came out first, but I feel like it was God Damaged.
came out
God
first.
Damage definitely.
100%.
Yeah, so you guys ripped off our buddy's Harmless Habit. Expect a cease and desist.
The first note I had was, I don't really like the rapping at the very beginning, but I do like the part immediately after it. And then it leads into the chorus of all time. My problem with this song was that I felt like everything that happened, I was able to predict what it was going to do next. And that is a problem. What is... Logan, do you have the... Okay. I was hearing somebody talk from over there.
Yeah, my bad. Connor was hearing himself.
He was messing with me
It wasn't just in his head this time.
this time.
All right. Well, Connor, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you. I thought like the style change right at the beginning is like super odd, and they kind of pull the energy right out from under you, especially with that first track. I would have preferred if we kept that going through. And I do have a note about the chorus just being like completely okay. Like it is a chorus.
That's going to be a problem that keeps coming back, though.
I have a note about it every time. I do like when things get heavier in the track. It's like it brings kind of like a sense of fun that you don't get throughout the rest of the track. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good, but I really want the energy back.
I just kind of found the lyric, I blame it all on being young. You guys were going when I was in high school. Are you? I mean, maybe I'm missing some context. I don't know if he was talking about the past or not, but that just stuck out to me. Like, I don't know, guy.
Is Dave just calling himself old right now?
I mean, older, you
You're a young guy.
know.
I believe we are all chopped and unked.
We are all chopped and unk. That is true.
I like the acoustic breakdown at the end. Thought that was a nice touch.
I'll give you this one, but we are going to come back to the acoustic parts of this album. I got beef with them.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to track 3, Mayday. I give this a 6.5.
I gave it an 8.5.
8.
7.
Look, it's the most radio song I have ever heard. It is so formulaic and not impressive in any way. It's just something that feels like a studio head said, yep, that's going to make you $1 million overnight. And they said, okay.
You know the problem with that? It's one of the standout tracks on this album.
Yeah.
Yep, and you know what else is the problem with that? The fans are okay with that.
Yep.
I like 3 Days Grace a lot, and when I heard Mayday on the radio for the first time, like last year, I think, holy hell, I was like, yeah, we're so back. And then this is the first time I actually heard it like high quality. Like before this, I had only heard it over the radio, and it's still pretty good. I mean, I miss some of the mud of the radio play, you know, cranking it up to 50. This one feels a lot more like the sound from the 1X era, and, you know, I'm obviously getting nostalgia baited here because I love that album. And obviously that goes on throughout a lot of the track, and I love a lot of what's happening with the guitars and the drums, and obviously they have a top-tier breakdown near the end.
Yeah, the punchiness to the guitars is satisfying. I like the drive behind the song. I like the sound around 23 seconds in. I don't remember what it was exactly, but I said I liked it.
That's the Animal I Become riff.
Yep.
Not
Yeah,
exactly,
a bit of
but pretty
bounciness
much.
creeps in that I like. So, yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it with the Animal I Become bass. That's my first note. Yeah, I have heard this song before because this was Joey's song of the day in season 4. Is that right?
What
I think
season
so.
are we on now?
6.
So 4. It was
That's what
4.
I thought. Yeah, to me, this was the first track that sounded like what I remember them sounding like from the other albums, which, I mean, obviously half of it's ripped from that one song. And also, autocorrect hated my notes on this. Everything I wrote was like a red squiggly line under it. Not because I was spelling things wrong. Just, it really doesn't like the words "animal I have become" written on its own.
Yeah. All right. Ready to move on?
Mm-hmm.
Go to track 4, Kill Me Fast. Give this a 7.
I gave it a 7.5.
7.5.
5.5.
Ooh. Yeah. Look, man, I felt like I was being mean, so I nicened it up a little because the song moves well, predictably, but well. The drums killing it again. Actual chops being shown. Shouts out the drummer. The harmonies on this one pretty good. That's the only song I think I'll say it about. But they're pretty good here. I feel like this is the only song I could find myself ever maybe mumbling along to on this album.
Damn. For me, I have a little bit more like of an off-put of that like back and forth energy swing we kind of got going on. Like we have a hard song, we have a soft song, we have a hard song, we have a soft song, and I feel like it could just flow along a little bit better. I do like the dichotomy between the vocalists we get in this track. It's really neat and fun. The guitars and backtrack absolutely kill it, but we do have another chorus of all-time situation on our hands. It's just all right.
Yeah, I thought it was a good mix up to the pacing. Good breakup song. Glad I'm not in that space, but I know the feels. 2 minutes, 5 seconds in makes me think of The Little Mermaid. Dig it, though. Oh, yeah, because he was doing kind of a thing. So, yeah, Little Mermaid vibes.
Oh yeah, I do have one final note. This is a radio track right now. WBN played it on my way over here.
Huh.
Chopped and unk.
Yeah, you listen to a radio station with a frog on it? Chopped and unk.
Pretty much. Carson, it is funny that you brought up the like two vocalists working together, because every review that I read about it praised them for that the whole time, and I really don't have any. I'm not gonna discredit that. That was pretty good for most of this album.
Yeah, I just thought in this song in particular they played off each other really well.
All right, here's where I'm going to talk about song structure, because this song is where I noticed it, because they did the thing I hate the most on this album twice in a row. So every song on this album is intro, chorus, verse, chorus, chorus, chorus. Except for half of them are, at the end, chorus, acoustic redoing of the chorus, chorus. And I think the acoustic redoing is my least favorite part, and this is track 2 in a row that happens. It's going to lose points every time that happens. And then, like you said, the chorus of all time.
Yeah. I think the unfortunate thing is they used to just be able to do it better. Because half of their songs in their old albums were the acoustic way. And then they had the like heavier electric songs. It just kind of sucks a little more now. All right. Go to track 5, In Waves. Give this a 5.
I gave it an 8.
6.5.
6.5.
There was this was like another nothing burger, you know, man. There was just no substance to anything. The riffs were like the same throughout the entire song. I don't even think I would say this is a good radio track. I think this is just a solid filler.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as that. I just particularly like them, so I got an 8. I really dig that Become Animal I Have riff we have right at the start. It's just the same thing, but kind of backwards. It kind of eases you back into the heavy stuff in a nice way, but it's just a solid 3 Days Grace track. It just does their sound pretty well.
Yeah. Good melody to the guitars. Hits a soaring quality with his voice that I like. I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah. This one got extra points because it didn't have the same song structure as the last two songs I was very mad about. But you guys are right. It does sound like generic song, but I thought this would go good in a playlist of similar sounding songs. I don't think I'd notice this breaking up the flow of anything.
Yeah, throw it right next to Animal I've Become
Exactly.
and, all of 1X.
On my
and it's
20
fine.
hours of Animal I've Become playlist, this would fit in perfectly fine.
We call that the Hell Yeah playlist.
I think the problem with this whole album is that none of the songs would break up a single playlist. But none of them would make a single playlist either. You know, like, there's playlists I go to put on, right? Like my Screaming Drunk in the Mirror. The first track I put on every time is Move Along by the All American Rejects. That makes that playlist, right? Not a single track off of this would I ever be like, yes, this is the highlight of my playlist. This track from 2024, 3 Days Grace. It's all like radio metal background hits. You could throw this right next to Enter Sandman and not even blink. All right, ready to go to track 6. Alienation. I gave this a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.5.
6.75.
Wow, I gave it a 7. Didn't think Carson was going to have me beat at any point in this review. But,
Oh, no, this one-
I have Carson beat, I guess.
This one has a weird, creepy intro. Did not like.
That's crazy.
That's the only good part
My
of
first
this.
note is the intro is cool.
Well, here's my problem. I feel like with this track in particular, I feel like they listened to an entire album of Ice Nine Kills right before recording this, and they just kept adding in little beats from them in here, and I'm like, this is half Ice Nine Kills, half 3 Days Grace track, and I don't know what's going on here. The chorus is kind of fun, but it got really old before the end. And I just feel like if they leaned less into the whole like gimmick of the song, it would be better.
I can't get behind that. I think the chorus is just fine. The verses, I think, across this whole album stood out the most to me on this song. Xylophone, very interesting call for like the lead or whatever it was.
I totally
It's
missed
kind
that.
of the lead sometimes, but no, I wish it sounded more like the verses in the chorus. It's like they did this cool thing for some of the song and then went back to their formula. But I liked what was going on there, and the intro was good, so better score.
Yeah, digging the pace. And there's like a stop and go to the rhythm that they bring to this song that I kind of liked. And it's such a lame line. I don't know why I said I liked it. I put the I in isolation. Stupid.
It's such an Ice Nine Kills line.
I feel like the whole structure for their vocals on this was straight from Nothing More. It's so over processed, and then they do the like dual singer harmonies like they've done before, and it was all very reminiscent of that. And I was like, oh, Carnal was probably around the same time, or at least Angel Song, which is the most stolen mix of this album has.
Yep.
But other than that, this song is just another radio track with a cool intro that gets cut off on the radio, I bet. It sucks because they can do so much better. And I get it. You're at the top. You want to stay at the top. But if you're not making music worth writing anymore, is it really worth going still? Just play the same crap you've been playing for the last 20 years. Like everybody
That's what
from
Green
the
Day
80s
does.
has been doing for the last 40 years.
Is that not what they did? Half the song is just the one song.
Yeah, but they're branding it as new music.
Mm.
They're not Ozzy singing Crazy Train for the last
That's fair.
60 years and then dying.
Yeah, I mean, look at Green Day. They're about to play probably American Idiot at the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
Why would they not play anything from like that album?
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to piss a bunch of rednecks off.
Probably.
Well, they're going to be too busy watching the Kid Rock one.
Oh, is there a separate...
Oh, did you not hear about that?
No.
The Kid Rock is putting on his own Super Bowl show on a different channel.
That's amazing. That's the most Kid Rock thing I've ever heard in my life.
God, I could not give less of a fuck about the Super Bowl.
So yeah,
If I could possibly give less of a fuck, it would fuck with the time-space continuum.
I am avidly not a Super Bowl fan. I will watch everything up until the Super Bowl, and then the Super Bowl comes. I'm like, this sucks. It's like the season. It's like the series finale you don't want to watch. You know, like
It's
that
just a big
70s
old
show.
ad anyway.
Exactly.
That's true.
Sports are lame.
All right, get back into music here with track 7, Never Ordinary. Give this a 6.
Gave it a 7.
6.
5.5, and I'll get this out of the way.
Valid. Look, the acoustic was pretty prominent in this one. It was fun. I liked it, I guess. There were some female vocals tossed in there. I don't remember how often because it didn't feel like it was twice. I was gonna say it was like a couple times. Great. There's a stupid turnaround they do in the chorus that just sounds terrible. It sounds terrible every time they do it, and they keep doing it, and no one stopped them.
I'm surprised we aren't talking about the weird mix yet, because this one is mixed weird. This one feels like it's mixed differently than all the other tracks, and I don't know why.
I checked out.
It was like they like randomly turned the guitars up and like they drowned the vocalist. I don't know what's going on.
He sucked.
But then the female vocalist showed up for 2 seconds twice. At once, like right in the middle of the song, and then once at the very end. And I just wanted more of it. Like, why are you giving me something that's so nice in such small little short chunks and only twice?
Somebody's sister popped in the booth as they were recording like, twice.
And they don't even know that voice is
They
there.
just missed it.
It's like this one is just okay. Like there's nothing super noteworthy here.
Yeah, not bad. Just a little bored. A little generic. Feels like we're repeating not just musically, but thematically. Like, wasn't the last song about being different and whatnot? So, I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was boring.
Yeah.
All right. Go to track 8, Death Wish. I gave it a 5, and I'll get this out the way.
I gave it an 8.
6.75.
6. And if I could have done what Logan did, I probably would have. This one is fine. It's a lot of the same once again. Chorus happens too many times. Oh, yeah, it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this track is chorus, and then there's the rest of the song, and that I fear is most of this album.
Yeah. I was immediately into the guitars, even though they are the Become, Have, I Am Animal riffs. The mix has been corrected. We're back to formula. And the breakdown is fun after the guitars have their short little seizure section. Yeah, I just had a lot of fun with this one. I thought the energy was great, and I had a really fun time with it.
I feel like this would have been a good time to really rough it up in the album. Like, to really bring some of the harder stuff. But I guess maybe too much chorus, but I like the bouncy chorus. And the guitar solo was great, but way too short. Like, it comes in there, and then, okay, we're done. Oh,
I just don't like...
I feel like we could have wrote that a little longer. But,
I just don't like particularly how they started. Like, once they settle into it, it sounds cool, but, like, right at the beginning, like, they have this weird, like, squibbly, like, screechy noise, and I'm like, why?
Also, weirdly fun.
Real
Question mark?
All right. We'll go ahead and hop on to track 9, Don't Want to Go Home Tonight. I gave this an 8.
I gave it a 7.5.
7.5.
6.5.
Right off the bat, vibe switch, full 180, complete pacing buster there. But this is the 3 Days Grace I'm used to. The emo, just like, God, that's why I gave it a high score. This is back to the good emo music. The only real rough note I had about it is there's a lot of auto-tune that's very visible on this track. You can hear that, Robit.
So this song was weird. I don't think I have anything really against this song. I think placement is killing this one because I'm already bored with the last couple tracks, and then you slow it down. I think that's what mostly happened. I was a little engaged at the beginning because the vocals sound a little too much like Goldfinger, but that's not a negative. I thought was funny.
Yeah, my first note on this track is just what happened, because I was like, what is going on? I was so confused. And then I had this weird moment where like I'm like, is this 3 different EPs just jammed together? It's like 3 old versions of their sound, like sprinkled throughout this album. And I feel like if they just wanted to do 3 EPs of like 3 of their old sounds, that would have been cool. The vocalists really try to carry this song, but there's such like a heavy auto tune there that if you're paying too close of attention, it does detract away from it.
Thought it was a prettier song. I feel like I like it more than I should. I could see it being a good drunk song. And the grandpa guitar mixed in is a nice touch.
All right. I'm going to track 10 in Cold Blood. Give this a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 7.5.
7.75.
6 out of 10.
You just had to one-up me.
I mean, I guess I did it psychically because that's what I wrote down.
It's the couch. It gives us a psychic link.
It's pretty rough over here. Carson gets a trade out every once in a while. We're permanently stuck.
Yeah, I get new mine, so I haven't gone crazy just yet.
All right. Yeah. Look, we're kicking into a COD game right off the bat in this song. That's fine. It's just another radio track, man. There's no substance here. It sucks.
But also, like, that feeling of, like, loading into a COD lobby, that, like, feeling that 3 Days Grace gives you sometimes, that, like, little, like, teen angst, like, I love it so much. Like, my inner 13-year-old is just screaming at my mother right now, which shouldn't be happening because my mom's amazing. The chorus is super fun. We're back to formula, and the guitars are just a little funky, and I absolutely love that.
In a way, I'm kind of disappointed that this seems like the hardest they get on the whole album. And I don't think that really kicks in until about 2 minutes, 9 seconds in. That's the best part of the song, hardest part of the album, and that's part of what kind of boosted the score up a little bit. It's like, I feel like they could have, you know, relatively speaking, for a band like this, hard for them. Sorry.
All good. I had to bump your switch or your slider earlier.
I'm still not over this motion.
Yeah, I got a little lost at that.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's about it.
This song makes me mad because it sounds so much like another song that I've heard before, and I can't figure out what it is. The only real things of note that I had were the break right before the acoustic part sounds good, but I'm so sick of the acoustic parts, so I'm kind of mad at it. I'll eventually figure out what song it sounds like, but
I know what song it sounds like.
it's not Animal I Become.
But it is.
No, it's the other one.
I don't think
Actually-
it's a song by them. I think it's a completely different song it sounds like. but-
Actually, the next track is Animal Life Become Again.
Yes, it
Yep,
is.
absolutely right.
We'll get into track 11 here, The Power. I give this a 4.
I gave it an 8.
7.5.
I gave it a 5.
Look, it's the Animal I've Become riff again, and then they throw on the worst chorus I think I've ever heard a band greenlight. Like, it just sucked. I literally wrote "boo this song, boo" down because it's mostly chorus.
My only note is it feels like I'm listening to 1X again. I'm in heaven.
See, I thought there was a nice melody to the vocals, and it seemed like the other guy's big song. Oh no, though it did make me realize they could have done more with that. Like, it seemed like it was usually just one dude, and then the other guy would show up maybe here and there, and they probably could have harmonized more, done a little bit more flipping back and forth. So it made me realize that.
I think the problem was they got emo singers in a very similar vocal range. So I bet neither of them could harmonize with each other without the robot's help.
That's a good point.
Yeah, this song, it's Animal I Become, but it also sounds like every other song on this album. And it's starting, well, I mean, it had already started to make me mad about it, but yeah, this is the note where I fully wrote down, I think this band only knows how to make remakes of their one song.
Have you ever seen that clip where he's like, the lead singer can't sing, the drummer can't drum, the guitar player only knows one riff? That's this band right here.
It's this riff.
But it's only.
But it's a banger riff. You don't understand.
I get it. Look,
Mm-hmm.
I've played it before. I've played it before on camera. It's just, I don't need to hear it in other songs. I want to hear it in that one song.
I feel like it could fit in almost any song.
I
Throw on Sabrina Carpenter, and if I hear the animal, I become
I got a new
riff.
video idea.
putting the animal I have become riff into every song.
Every single track.
Oh. All right.
Injecting pure testosterone into every track ever.
You get a whole month of Song of the Days where it's our recreations of it.
All right, we'll go to track 12. Another relapse. I gave this a 4.
Gave it a 7.
6.
Give it a 6.
They rhyme so much in the beginning, pissed me off. Because it wasn't like, there's a way to rhyme. It's the first 2 lines, skip the third, bring it back with the 4th. No, it goes rhyme, 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 then the proper structure. So there's 6 rhymes, then a break. Too many rhymes. You're not Dr. Seuss. Get out of here. Also,
be.
they Benson Boone me. Don't do that ever. We've been over it. I did write down that I said I hate you. So I got a pretty visceral reaction for that. And then it's also like, what, a 4.5 to 5 minute track. It was a longer one. There's a lot of room to explore there. You know what they explore? The chorus. Like 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
And they go falsetto 7 times.
I was going to say nothing because they really don't really explore much.
They don't explore at all. They just kind of stand in the doorway of a mansion. And they're like, cool place.
It's kind of like standing just at the foot of the mountain when you went there to climb it.
Mm-hmm. Saying you climb to the top.
Oh, yeah. I was here. That's kind of exactly how I feel about this song, too. Like, it's just, like, solid, okay, here. It's kind of long. It does nothing other than kind of get annoying. I don't know. It's all right.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing. Nothing really special. It's fine. You know, I'm not sitting there and I'm not miserable. But definitely not a great track to end on. Very anticlimactic. You know, like, once it ended, I'm like, it's a new album start. That's it.
Yeah, I think my score is probably wrong on this song, but I think somehow I was able to grade this as its own track and not as the ending of this.
Mm-hmm.
I think I blacked out and stopped thinking about it as the ending to this album because that made me too mad. Because this is a terrible ending to this album. The only thing that I can think of is that they were hoping that another relapse meant another listen of this album, and I really hope that's not what they were going for because that sucks. But on its own, it's a perfectly okay song that I think I was able to somehow separate from the rest of this album that sounds exactly the same.
All right, before I say anything I want to say, we'll get into pacing because that's where it fits. I gave pacing a 4 out of 10.
I gave it a 5.
I guess I'll be a little nicer and say a 6.
I gave it a 5.
Yeah, I don't think this album was literally ever meant to be consumed this way. This is 100% half of it's meant for radio, the other half is meant for a random playlist. It's just a filler song, and that's cool. I respect it. That's the play, honestly. It's 2026. People have the attention span of a peanut. So it's hard to get someone to listen to an entire album. That's why you see things being made for TikTok where there's these 15-second really cool parts or, you know, things that are made for reels that are 30-second parts that are cool. I get it. I respect it, I guess. If it makes you money, it makes you money. Just remember every once in a while that you were a good musician at one point and could put out a banger.
But what if they just chose to put out Animal I've Become again? I am much on the train of this doesn't really feel like an album. It feels like a bunch of different projects where they revisited old sounds that they used to do, especially with bringing back on the older vocalist. It feels like they revisited a bunch of old sounds and, you know, brought those back forward, and it was cool for nostalgia reasons, but it should be like so, like sometimes the sounds are just so distinct that they should be separate, like projects. Like I said earlier, like 3 EPs kind of separated out. Like Logan, you like their emo phase. You really like their emo phase, obviously, from which ones you rated high. For me, I really dig their 1X grunge kind of hard rock phase. Love it. So if I had an EP of just that, I would absolutely love that project. But because it's on here with all the emo stuff, I loved it a little bit less. And it certainly doesn't give you right for a good pacing score.
I mean, I never found myself too miserable well, actually, I was never miserable while listening to this album. And I think it was around maybe 2/3 in when I'm like, how much is left? And it was like, oh, okay, all right. You know.
It's also
So-
only 42 minutes, so
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
hard
that
to
helped-
get burned out in 42 minutes.
Yeah, that helped a lot. So,
And yet somehow it happened. It didn't happen as bad as other albums. It's certainly not the worst pacing score we've ever seen, but it is a lot of the same, and we've already figured out through years and years of doing this show that doesn't get you a better pacing score if all your songs sound the same. It's fine. It's shorter than a lot of the things we listen to, so cool.
Yeah. For 42 minutes, I wouldn't say I was miserable, but there were times I felt myself wishing I could hit the skip button because I was like, I've heard this whole song already, and there's a minute and a half left.
Yeah, I don't think as like an overall project I had a problem with it. I found getting miserable with the pacing of individual songs, of hearing the same chorus over and over again. That's where it hit for me. It was never as a whole.
Yeah, overall, it's like, man, it's fine. But it's like in each song, it's like, man, if there was like a minute and a half less of this, I'd be cool with it. I heard your 16 lines, and that was it. All right, we'll get into our album art score. Gave this a 7.5.
I'm going to give it a 7.
7.
I had a 7 written, but then I remembered the cool ad campaign they did for this album, so I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I think one nails the name of the track, or of the album with the album art. That's pretty cool. I think if I were to buy this somewhere, I would get pretty much what I'm expecting, and it's just a cool piece of art, I suppose. It's all subjective, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an issue I have with it, just a small, tiny issue. I think it's cool. It looks really neat, but it reminds me way too much of the 1X people. You know what I'm talking about? They use the same stick figures on the front of 1X, and it's like, okay, so not only are you making callbacks to the sounds, but you're making callbacks to the album art as well. So that kept it from being like too high scored, because I thought it was cool, but I'm like, this looks a little too similar to how they did 1X. Like, I get it, man.
I wonder if knowing the ad campaign is going to make you like that more or less. Because what they did is they went back on Apple Music and changed all of their album arts and put the stick figures from this album art in place of the other ones.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was sick. I thought that was a really cool thing. Because they didn't, like, announce they were dropping the album before that. They were like, they put out Mayday, and then they did that, and that's how we knew that an album was coming. After that, I then forgot that they were dropping an album, but
I'll have to look that up.
yeah, I don't think it's up anymore, but it was cool when it was happening.
Yeah.
So extra credit for that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, it was just kind of looking at it. Oh, that's neat. I wasn't like blown away or anything. Like, oh man, that's so cool. It's like, oh yeah, it feels fitting to the album. Looks kind of cool.
You know what's funny? If the album was more of an homage to 1X than it is right now, like instead of just like a copy, this album art would have scored higher for me, because it's this album art does feel like a really cool like homage to 1X.
Heck yeah. All right, we'll go on to album overall. I gave it a 5.75.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 overall.
Give it a 7.
I mean, I don't know how you did that, but I also gave it a 5.75.
Hive mind. Told you this couch has been operating a long time. Look,
Hey, we only got a half point off. We're okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing like offensively terrible here. There's nothing, anything of like true substance though. I don't think that this is a terrible album. I think if I were gifted this, I would say, "Oh, cool, thanks," and I'd spin it because it's solid background, just rock music. But that's exactly the problem. It's all background rock music. It's like even the radio tracks. I guess maybe I'm both too young and too old for. It doesn't hit my right area of nostalgia for my listening taste of them.
Yep, and I'm on the opposite side of the coin. I'm right inside that nostalgia hit, and I'm super biased when it comes to this album because I hear it everywhere in the album. I can pick out the little pieces that they did in older tracks, and it was really cool to listen to. So if you like 3 Days Grace and you've been a fan of them for a while, you're gonna really like this album. But like objectively, overall as a project, it's done kind of poorly.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was fine. I wasn't miserable, so I'm taking it. It's like, yeah, it was enjoyable enough, but I did not add anything to my like list for sure. You know, I think I re-listened to like my top 3 tracks just to kind of confirm that, and after that, I'm pretty much done with it. So I wasn't like, oh man, this fucking sucked having to deal with this, but it was also, I'll forget about it a year from now. Hell, probably even a few months.
Unfortunately, it's been on the show, so I'll be cursed to remember this one forever. But,
Don't-
yeah. What?
Oh, I was gonna make a Janet Jackson comment about Dave. I was like, "Don't worry, Dave. You'll get your Janet Jackson soon enough."
Had it last week.
Yeah, for real. This album is fine. I mean, it's a lot of the same. I feel like I would just go listen to the other albums that this is all referencing. I really have nothing super against this album, but I probably won't come back to it unless we do like a re-review in 10 years.
Oh.
I mean, we're on year 3 and we haven't done one for season 1 yet. We probably should, but
There were some
Orpheus,
hitters in
let's
there.
go.
I want to touch that one again. Yeah.
I would.
Mhm.
I
Wanna
would
do
love to
Polyphia
do that one
again?
again.
People don't know that review exists. We didn't want them to know at the time either because it was recorded on a trash can.
yeah, also sorry about that.
I'd love to get Dave in on
Actually,
Polyphia
only about
review.
25%
Yeah,
of
I'm
that
kinda
review being
curious
bad is
about
my
this.
fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think a re-review series would be good.
You should shoot a video.
Oh, don't worry, we will. They've been on the schedule for like a year and a half now, so
Yeah, this is not.
we
a
just
new
haven't done
idea.
it.
All right.
Oh yeah, am I up?
Yep.
All right. Next week we'll be listening to Bay by Young Bay. This album came out in 2014, and I realized after I wrote it down that we were not recommended this album. We were recommended one song off this album, and I messed it up. So we're running the whole thing.
Well, let's run it. Let it ride.
All right. Before we skedaddle, don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button, as well as dropping music suggestions of songs, EPs, or albums that you want us to check out in either our lives or videos.
Yeah, make sure to suggest us songs to listen to. Logan will not like them, and I will love them.
As you know, we will never do less than you suggest. We might accidentally do more, though.
That is true, yeah. Unless you suggest AI music, in which you'll get a rant that will get cut from the video.
That is true.
All right. Bye.
See you next week. Oh, I did that wrong.